Behind the Drapes, where we take a look inside the minds of industry professionals and the people that really make things happen. I'm your host, Expo Rich. We're here broadcasting from the IAEE Expo floor in Louisville, Kentucky, and my special guest, Stephanie Selesnick. She's an international exhibition consultant. Welcome, Stephanie.
Hi, I'm super happy to be here on the show floor and with you.
Thanks for being part of this. I love to ask my guests about their origin story, like how they ended up in this business. And I know you and I have a similar one, but why don't you tell us a little bit about how you ended up in this industry?
So my mom started a trade show business. She had worked her way up through a trade magazine in the apparel industry. It was machinery, and one of her biggest competitor had a big show in Atlanta, and she figured if he could do it, she could do it. And so she started her own show because it's really natural with a magazine, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Your advertisers become your exhibitors and your sponsors. Your attendees are your readers.
Yeah.
And so she did her first show at the LA Convention Center, where the Staples Center is right now, been built. Yeah. And we have a party going on around the corner. Yeah. And there was an earthquake during the move-in.
Oh, wow.
Which was, I guess, fortuitous.
Her first show?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I think I was 10.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then she expanded the business into Mexico. She went out with IAEE to Mexico and fell in love with the country. And this was pre-NAFTA. Yeah. So no convention centers were there.
Wow.
We did the first show with the apparel machinery in the parking lot of the Camino Real Hotel in Mexico City.
Wow.
And then the next year, there's the Hotel de Mexico, which is now where the World Trade Center is.
Yeah.
And you and I have been there, actually.
Yeah.
And the first couple of floors were used for an exhibit hall. Only they didn't have a freight elevator, so they were bringing all this equipment up by pulley.
Wow.
Yeah. So, So when people are complaining about stuff, I'm like, oh, please, give me a break. This is not.
We have forklifts and we have elevators.
Yeah, exactly. Don't complain.
So really, you were a child on the trade show floor, and
child labor, nepotism, all of it. All of my siblings, we all worked. When you got to be 10, you got to go stay at the hotel, and you were in charge of the refilling magazine bins.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Same with me. My first job was emptying waste baskets, and I was about 10 years old.
Yep, child labor, nepotism. But anyway, so the rest of the family decided not to stay in trade shows, and I fell in love with it, and it's been my career.
Yeah, and I guess when you know that you're a social person and a connector, this is where you have to be.
Yeah, so. I definitely consider myself to be a connector. It's fun to connect people, for commerce and for friendships.
So after working with your mom, and I'm guessing like the show sold at some point, or
we did. We sold shows. We we had a couple of failures, which always hurts. Because what people don't understand is that when you're an entrepreneur, it's not OPM, as my dad used to call it, other people's money, it's your own. Right. So it's especially painful when you initiate things and they don't work out. But we had success with growing shows and then selling them. And then we also took on show management contracts.
Oh, okay.
And then after everything hit in the recession, and 2009 or whatever, my mom decided to retire, and I went into a consulting mode.
Okay, so that's where your transition was into just and what are some of the projects that you've worked on as a consultant that would be,
Well, I put a deal together between 3 of the 4 top shows in the world, so that they each, instead of selling each other's clients and going to the shows and suitcasing as we do, we see everywhere, they actually control their own exhibitors and bring in pavilions, and they all get the same rate. So they extend the show management rate or something a little bit more, but instead of rack rate.
Oh, nice.
And so, those kinds of deals go really well because people are they're able to be with their exhibitors, deepen their relationships, and go overseas.
Yeah, for sure. So, how has being? I mean, I know this is your industry and this is your job, but I like to see how the connection is working and putting shows together, and then also equating that to growing your own career. How do you put those together? Like what's been the secret sauce?
I think the secret sauce is people and relationships and building relationships around the world. I started going to UFI, the Global Association for the Exhibition Industry. My first global congress was 10 years ago in Abu Dhabi.
Wow.
And then a couple of weeks ago, just got back from Oman.
Yeah.
12-hour time difference. It's literally the other side of the planet.
Oh wow.
But I have a hashtag around the world with UFI.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, with them, I've been to St. Petersburg, Russia, Moscow, obviously before the troubles with Ukraine and the war, and South Africa.
Yeah.
You were there too.
Yeah.
I know, you've been part of it. And Malaysia, which is an amazing country with delicious food. Just think Thai and Indian combined, but in a gorgeous way. Yeah, like really good. I know I love food. And so it's been a lot of fun. And then, next year we've got Costa Rica,
That'd
which
be cool.
never sucks
Yeah.
to go to Costa Rica. Like, stop twisting my arm. And we're going to be up in the Netherlands for the European conference. So it's really about the people that you meet.
Yeah.
And I've been coming to IAEE for what, 25 years? Over 25 years at this point. I remember when I was one of the young ones, and now I'm one of the old farts.
Yeah, I'm on my 22nd. So
Yeah.
at IAEE, so.
It's like, wait, there's some guys here when it's like, oh, I knew them when they had brown hair, when they were brunettes, or I knew them when they had hair.
Yeah, I was gonna say like this guy. I started coming here and I had hair. So what's something next for you? Like, what's a thing that's gonna get you excited to get out of bed? Like, what's something you're really excited about?
I'm working. I had some really good meetings at UFI, and people want to sell the U.S. market. The trade show market here is still the largest, and so I'm in negotiations with trying to help them bring pavilions to their shows around the world, to Europe and to Chile specifically, and so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about different deals, and I love it. I love that I can do that. I have the ability to do anything from floor management. Somebody just asked me if I could work a show for them in Las Vegas, where I live.
Yeah, well, that's
Sure,
easy.
I can do that. I can drive
Go
there.
down the street.
Can I have a parking pass, please?
Yeah.
It's like the biggest perk. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, a parking pass. Yeah, I don't have to fight. But the industry is in transition, and I think we have to really start delivering more value and talking about the value to our clients and not expect it. We have to make things easier for people. And so being part of that transition and helping to educate people about it, and I think it's all exciting. And it feels good to be open and doing events again, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah,
Live,
absolutely.
not
Yeah.
online.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting. I was having a conversation with someone, and we were talking about, this next generation and how they're, they question why we do things, and it's great because, it really makes us rethink everything. And what's also interesting is these kids that are questioning everything are our customers, our clients, our coworkers, so it's, you talk about it evolving, and this next generation is the one that's like forcing it to evolve, and it's great because business as usual is not usual. So
we're never going to go back to normal, whatever the hell normal meant, and we do need to bring in younger generations. Now, if you look at consumer shows, with people that are passionate about whatever it is, whatever hobby it is that they have, we're seeing younger people. We're just not seeing the younger people necessarily on the show floor for business-to-business events,
Right.
and we really have to work on that. And we have to get the higher ups to bring younger people and get educated as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because mentorship is also so important, especially how it's hard to even explain what we do.
People are always like, "Oh, so do you throw parties?
Yeah.
Are you a party planner?"
Pretty much.
Yeah, at least and we have friends in the business whose families still don't understand what they do.
Oh yeah.
And fortunately, mine does.
Yeah, definitely.
And so does yours.
Yeah.
But most people in the industry, if you ask, they oh, what do you do?
Yeah, Dad goes to work and he travels.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Well, how do people find you?
They can find me
LinkedIn.
at Steph Selesnick 1 on Insta because I got hacked, and Instagram's terrible about.
Oh yeah.
Ugh. Fortunately, nobody's posted porn on it, so I'm happy about that.
That's good.
And then Stephanie at intltradeinfo.com, and it's and my last name is spelled Selesnick. So I'm on LinkedIn. I'm all over, and this has been great.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you.
Thanks. I can't wait to hear the rest of these podcasts that you've been doing all week.
Thank you.